तत्परम्पर्यय विद्महे ज्ञानलिङ्गेश्वराय धीमहि तन्नो गुरुः प्रचोदयात्। ओम योग महर्षि डॉक्टर स्वामी गीतानंद गिरि गुरु महाराज की जय। ओम पुदुवै कलैमामणि पुदुवै शक्ति योगाचारिणी अम्मा जी मीनाक्षी देवी भवनानी गुरु माता की जय। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। नमस्ते, वणक्कम, स्वागतम, शुभ दिनम, bonjour, buongiorno, buonasera, buonanotte, Uyamore, Boreda, Kiora, Salamat Fagi, Ayubovan, Ayushman Bhava, Shubh Dinam. Felt like sharing with all of you this morning because last evening we had a very, very wonderful session with my Hello My Yoga team led by Shivani, and we had participants from around the world join me in my Yogachikitsa series, which is a series I'm doing especially for Hello My Yoga. And this time we were discussing the enteric nervous system, which is your gut brain. And I was just thinking, so many times we have forgotten what is happening. What is happening in the body? What is happening in our mind? What is happening with our emotions? And this volatility that is coming in the body, where the homeostatic balance is lost, the emotional volatility and the mental loss of equanimity. If we go back to Acharya Shushruta, who was the father of surgery, 600 BC. Yes, 600 BC. And we had an amazingly well-developed surgical system in India. All sort of surgeries being done. Much to learn from our ancestors. Acharya Shushruta was not looking only at pathology. Modern medicine, and yes, I am part of that system also, tends to have a pathogenic orientation. The pathogenic orientation that is only focusing on the disease. Often we don't even focus on the person with the disease, let alone anything higher. We are so focused on the disease, and we have moved from looking at the whole person to looking at the disease to now just looking at lab reports. And so nowadays, even before you meet the doctor, they want all your lab reports so that the moment they look at you, they can write a prescription. One of my favorite comments is that medicine used to be an art which had a heart. An art which had a heart. It then became a science which had a brain. So an art that had a heart became a science that had a brain. And today is a business that has lost both of them. Head and heart have been lost to the business of medicine, which has a very fat wallet. Same thing is happening to yoga therapy also. So watch out. In case you are wondering, my t-shirt says Yogachikitsa. For those who are watching the Facebook live, it will be mirror image usually. Then I download it, turn it around and upload it to YouTube. In Yogachikitsa, the application of yoga as a therapy, it is imperative, and I repeat, it is imperative that we look at the whole person. It is vital that we do not forget the Purna Swarupa of the Manushya. Purna means complete, wholesome. Swarupa is the essential nature and form manifest. That Purna Swarupa of the Manushya, the human being. This is the humanistic approach to medicine. And the humanistic approach where you respect and value the person who has come seeking care from you is fundamental in Yogachikitsa. If you cannot care about someone who's coming to you for care, you become careless. And the moment you are careless, you are being negligent. Careful, to be filled, to be full of care is vital for this humanistic approach both to modern medicine and to yoga as a therapy, Yogachikitsa. Acharya Shushruta so beautifully focuses on the salutogenic wellness, well-being of the individual. And it's not only looking at the pathogenic microscopy. He is looking at the salutogenic telescopy. These are terms that are vital for our communication. Pathogenesis, that looks at the factors of disease. Salutogenesis, that which looks at the factors manifesting wellness, well-being. Acharya Shushruta has the salutogenic perspective of health, wellness and well-being when he defines Swasth. And the term Swasth is essential for Yogachikitsa. So Yogachikitsa borrows and shares a lot with the Ayurvedic approach. And remember, what is Ayurveda? The science of life. It was not the science of pills that it has also become today. With all the companies, Dabur, Himalaya, you self-diagnose and pick out which green and white box you want to stuff yourself with. That is not Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the science of life. And Yogachikitsa and Ayurveda share a lot. Shushruta says that Swasth or Swasthya is vital when you are approaching it from a therapeutic perspective. What is Swasth? Swasth. Astu means to be. Swa is the self. So Swasthya is a state where you are being yourself. You are established in your own self. Maharishi Patanjali tells us when the Chitta Vrittis have been transcended into Nirodha, when that Chitta Vritti Nirodha has manifested, he says, Tada Dhrashtu Swarupe Avasthanam. When those Chitta Vrittis have been transcended, when they cease to govern you, when you have broken through the grip of the Chitta Vrittis that are holding you back. Because if you are not established in Swarupa, you will be established in the Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra. The sequence in the Samadhi Pada is very beautiful. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha tada dhrashtu swarupe avasthanam vritti sarupyam itaratra. If you are not able to transcend the vrittis, if you are not able to attain the chitta vritti nirodha, if you will not be established in swarupa, you will identify with the vrittis, and that means you have moved away from being yourself. You move away from ease into dis-ease. You move from the self to the non-self. You move from wellness to illness. And this is why the concept of Swasth, is so essential for us as a yoga therapist. Sushruta tells us, Samadosha sama agnischa samadatu malakriya. So there are first three samas. Sama means equilibrium, balance, harmony. The Bhagavad Gita tells us of samatvam as a state of equanimity, which is yoga itself. Samadosha sama agnischa samadatu. Your doshas, your Agni and your Dhatu should be in balance, harmony. Most of the time we are imbalanced, disharmonious. With regard to the gut brain, last night we were talking of dysbiosis. You should be in a biotic state, not a dysbiotic state. Dysbiosis is disease, ill health. And this is why the next part of Acharya Sushruta's definition of Swasthya is Malakriya. All your impurities, all your toxins have to be eliminated efficiently. Efficient elimination of the waste matter is essential for wellness, well-being. So, Samadosha, Sama-agnischa, Samadhatu, then Malakriya. Now, according to Tirumula, the great Siddha of South India, who has given us 3,000 verses about yoga, where he describes Attanga Yoga, which is the Tamil equivalent of Ashtanga. We don't have the ish sound in Tamil, so it is called Attanga. And there are some slight variations in the pronunciation. Instead of Yama or Yam, it becomes Iyamam. Instead of Niyam or Niyama, it becomes Niyamam. Asanam, Pranayamam, we add a at the end of it in Tamil. Tirumula has described Mala as threefold. He says Anava Mala. Anava is this ego. I am, me. One of the big diseases is the me disease. Me first disease. Me only disease. Me first, me only disease is the biggest disease. Anava Mala. The second is Kanma Mala. Kanma means karma. And this includes the Klesha karma. The Klesha and karma that are playing havoc with us. And the third is called Mayai, which is Avidya as per Maharishi Patanjali. Patanjali tells us, why do you have all these problems? He says the root cause, Hetu. Tasya Hetu Avidya. Avidya is the root cause of all of the problems. Tasya Hetu Avidya, says Maharishi Patanjali. So the Mala has to be eliminated, Malakriya. And then comes the very refined aspect of wellness from Sushruta. Prasannata. Prasannata means tranquility, peacefulness, essence of sattvika balance of the highest nature. And he says that prasannata has to be at three levels. Atma. You have to be a prasanna Atma. You have to be at ease with yourself. If you're not at ease with yourself, you move into dis-ease. And that is why Ekatvam or Ekam, the oneness. Ekatvam is a good term for that, that oneness is wellness. When we move from that oneness into two-ness, from non-duality into duality, from ekatvam to dvitiyam, we manifest then disease. So prasanna atma, you should be at ease with yourself and have that tranquility of the self. The second is indriya. According to yoga and all the Indian knowledge systems, we have at least 11 senses. Swamiji has described 18. Where you have the 5 jnanendriya, 5 karmendriya and manas. Is included even as an indriya, ekendriya. Your indriyas should be tranquil. Your sensory engagement should be of a tranquil nature. If everything you perceive through your senses throws you off balance, you are not healthy. We are so easily triggered by what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we taste, what we touch. Trigger. This has become part of the popular vocabulary. And nowadays, I love the fact instead of trigger, they say you can talk of glimmer. The glimmers, that those things that induce a feeling of ease, of wellness, of positivity. So instead of getting triggered all the time, get glimmered all the time. And glitter and glimmer like the gold, the diamond that we are all, potentially. We need to stop reacting to the sensory stuff that is pushed at us from all directions. This is where vairagya and pratyahara play an important role in yoga abhyasa. So prasanna, atma, indriya and mana. That manas needs to be prasanna. And how can that prasannata come in the manas? The chitta vritti nirodha is essential for that. We have to move from being bound by the conditioning of the lower unconscious, subconscious chitta, move into the conscious mana, develop our intellectual, discerning buddhi, and understand who we truly are in the ahamkara. Who is that who is making the I? Is it me or is it something bigger? Ammaji, many years ago, when I was born, wrote a beautiful poem. Little boy who made thee. Little boy who made thee. Did thy mother make thee? Laying cell on cell, tying bone to bone. Where learned she such skill, O little boy? And she finally asks, tell me in truth, who made thee? Because it is not just a mother making us, it is the universal mother, it is the divine universal nature, the cosmos that is making us. So that aham kara means to make. Aham, the sense of individuality. Who is making? Is it just this lower ego that wants everything for itself, bound by conditioning, survival instinct? Is that truly who we are? Or can we share and care? When we can share and care, we are truly elevating ourselves into that humanistic peak. So today I wanted to share some thoughts because last night giving the session for Hello My Yoga, and today we have the second session where the focus is on the enteric nervous system, the gut-brain axis and Yogachikitsa. But of course, as you know, we have to always expand the concept much bigger, much better for our own understanding. Thank you for being with me. May you all be blessed and may you be a blessing wherever you are. Hari Om Tat Sat.